anyway. So what's the point in taking a forfeit win? Like, you can't forfeit your forfeit win. Everybody that plays Dota, even people that play casually, still kind of have in the back of their minds playing professionally. Like, that's just how Dota is. It's a really competitive game. Everybody kind of thinks like, it could get to a point where maybe I would go pro if the opportunity arose. Like, everybody's thinking about TI, man. And these guys, like, for sure on this level, they're for sure thinking about TI. They're for sure thinking about winning things. They're thinking about winning qualifiers. They're not just like, oh, we want to take a couple games here or there. They want to win. So, like, they would need to beat a team like this anyway to get to where they want to go. I think that's a large thing that drives people in Dota too, is the fact that it's like, okay, I want to be good enough at this game that I'm willing to improve myself. It's not just like, oh, I play, I have fun. Everybody's like, no, I want to be better than this.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just about taking wins. It's about deserving them.
Yeah.
So that's it's good that they have that mentality, because I know a lot of people kind of lose sight of that when they get real competitive in these kind of tier 2 tournaments. It's like, well, we'll just go to a LAN or whatever, but not these guys. They have their eye on the prize.
Yeah. And with the lower reserve time for Taskus Titans, they're going to pick up maybe some cheese. Keyword light bristleback. So
a little cheesy.
Yeah.
A little cheesy.
I mean, you had this great long speech about how these teams want to be competitive and all that stuff, but they pick up bristleback keyword the light, which of course is fine. It's Dota. You can draft whatever you want to draft. It's just it's funny to see. It's a good old classic.
It's dirty. That is a dirty combo. I mean, literally at level 1, you get the instant double quill for no mana cost whatsoever, and then you do the third one, and it's something like, I don't know, a total of 200 or something physical damage in an AoE, which is pretty ridiculous at level 1. If you keep stacking it up, it's just so strong, especially against something like Slark in lane. They could really destroy Slark. Although Slark is historically considered pretty good against Bristleback, because you can just steal all of his stats while hitting him in the back, and it's like, well, sure, you're not dying to me, but that's good because I want to steal more stats from you. So thank you. That's great.
I also think that Slark is kind of good against this team. There's really no lockdown other than Tusk, which you need lockdown in order to be able to take care of a Slark. Otherwise, he just runs in and out of fights, stealing all your stats and killing people. And there are some ways to deal with them. Illuminate, Pugnablast. Slark can be very squishy, so he can get blown up against some of these heroes, but he might be able to roam freely if he can get Shadowblade pretty early. But yeah, he might have a pretty rough laning phase, though.
That is, if the laning phase goes well for him, though, like, he is pretty good against these heroes. Keeper of the Light, he can actually get the Keeper of Light in the back lines. Like, if Coddle's trying to defend one of these tier 1, tier 2 towers, like, Slark can really easily do a wraparound and get on him. And, you blinding light him, he doesn't really care because he just purges it off. So yeah, I think Slark is actually a really good pickup in this game in terms of outside of the laning phase. In the laning phase, I mean, this is where Slark has always struggled, and obviously it's going to be this ridiculous dual off lane. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they could even switch up the lanes and do some Slark mid. I saw that in a pub earlier today, although it wasn't a high level pub, but I've seen people do it. They've done the Slark mid. Maybe with that extra the extra regen that he has, it might be decent. Probably not. Who am I kidding? It's probably not that. You can also have the kind of alternative of, you put on so much pressure with the Sand King Windranger lane, or the Windranger Abaddon lane, or whatever lane it's going to be, that you force the enemy supports to go to that lane, and then Slark gets a free lane that way.
Right.
But picking up the DK, that's definitely the pushing hero that they need right now.
Yeah, I think it works perfectly against Keeper of the Light, because you're not relying on creeps or units or anything. You're just relying on your body, and you're tanky enough that you could kind of brush off and illuminate and be fine.
Yeah, and you don't really care that much if you get blinding lighted either, because by the time the blinding light runs out, you've already done damage with the corrosive ability of the Dragon Knight ulti on the tower. So
nice. That is quite that's the hero that everybody's been picking against DK, because of course you cleave off. Not only that, but you have the Tidebringer to deny the creeps, which of course only works when you have the isn't it when you don't have the autocast on as the deny works, or is it when you have the autocast on? I get confused.
When you have the autocast
okay.
on. Okay.
So that's pretty cool. You can deny the creeps from the DK. You can cleave off the creeps onto the DK and kind of own him a little bit. Kunkka very good at setting up team fights. You have decent catch, which they kind of didn't have that much of other than Tusk. It is a Jamesy hero through and through. They've played it a lot. They have decent push of their own with the Pugna. I don't know. It's a weird draft. You look at this Taskus Titans draft, you're like, huh, this is interesting. You have a core Pugna, safe lane Pugna, but could go well, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, the thing is, they have a safe lane Pugna, but they also have some more late game carry potential with the Bristleback. A lot of the time, you have these offlaners that aren't traditional semi carries, like Tidehunter, Abyssal Underlord, things like that. But Bristle is actually closer to a traditional carry. If he gets some items, he can actually do a lot in the late game. So I think it's okay to pick the Pugna in a situation like this. It's the same thing as with the Visage when you're running like a Shadow Fiend mid or something. It's just like total carry potential on your team. If you have a lot of total carry potential when you add all your heroes together, then you're pretty fine in the late game.
That sounds like a stat. TCP, total carry potential.
TCP. Yeah, you could get real complicated with all the buzzwords in Dota. Just acronym everything.
Make up random buzzwords and acronyms and just confuse the hell out of the people when we cast.
To be honest, it probably would sound about the same as regular casting because there's already so much ridiculous buzzwords in Dota. It's like, oh, they have map control here.
Look how much GPM and CS this Bristleback has.
This is a huge amount of CS. Oh my god.
And look at his XP. He's doing great. Yeah, honestly, if you're a layman,
XPM's looking really good too.
If you're never really if you've never played video games, if you're like somebody's dad or mom that's coming in and watching Dota, you're probably thinking, what the fuck are these people talking about?
Yeah. Have you ever watched casting of some, like, I don't know, Overwatch or something like that? Maybe that's not a good example.
Overwatch is, I mean, most games, 90% of esports that I watch, I know what's going on. I don't even think, I think every game I watch, I know what's happening. Like,
what about StarCraft?
Yeah, I played StarCraft. I played Overwatch.
Okay.
Not only did I play Overwatch, I also was involved in an Overwatch professional league, being a replay operator. So I've been there. I've heard all the terms for pretty much everything. Well, that makes me sound like a genius, but I'm not, but you know what I mean.
Dude, you're a god.
Rior is playing the Bristleback, which is interesting because he's usually playing the support hero. That's a Tusk that's dead, meanwhile. Really? And now Quillspray gets a double kill for Rior. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. There's no way that should have happened. But he got like 6 Quillspray stacks and they died. And my god, is that a great start for him.
I guess you don't try to commit to a Bristle Coddle.
You know what's more tilting for the Bristleback there is that he didn't get first blood. If he got in first blood and a double kill, he'd be up to like 800 gold right now. Instead, he only gets like 500.
Yeah, I hate getting double kills.
Yeah, screw double kills, honestly. No, my point is that he didn't get first blood. That was my point.
Yeah, no, it would have been insane if he had gotten that, but his
fuck
his
double
buddy
kills.
the Slark he took the. They're doing this kind of interesting dual offlane, dodging the Bristle Coddle with the Slark, knowing that it will completely hinder that hero.
RR has a nice TP. It's gonna be close, and he will make it.
If 2D kept hitting.
Wait, he TP to the. Why did he TP to the tower? Just TP home. Oh my god, you're actually gonna die if you get burrow struck.
No, he can keep laning here. Look at the damage from the double quill, and then the third one coming out. He's got to go for the third one just for efficiency. Yeah, that means
all those things like have HP already.
It's way too much damage.
They can't lane, especially once he gets level 3 quill sprays, which will be pretty soon, or level 2 quill sprays, excuse me. Then they really can't lane. So this is a great lane, but they're not really getting that much in bottom for Scamberloo. Although they might find Cat actually. They need another blast. It's not enough though. He's a stick charge. Oh.
These sticks coming in handy down here. That's twice that the stick has denied a kill. Once on the Sark, once on the Wind Ranger.
Oh, Scamberloo.
He
does have decrep. They also snowball. Essence shift up to 4 stacks. They need to run. They get power shot and they might die.
74 damage.
Yeah, it's they need like a couple auto attacks to actually get the kill with level 1 power shot. They need like 3 more auto attacks to kill him, but he's regenning up with a tango.
180 damage at level 1. Yeah. Power shot is just an insane.
It's really good right now. Yeah, it's really good. Of course, the trade-off is that you have to actually hit the ability. And they did.
Oh, there you go.
And they did. Yeah, power shot's insane. The thing is also when it goes through creeps, it's not very good. So.
Yeah, with the Pugna Decrep though, like, geez, the damage is just insane.
Yeah, true.
Killed him from like a 3rd HP there. I didn't realize actually the Slark Pounce plus the power shot is a pretty decent combo.
Yeah.
It's actually all right.
It's still a little tricky because you can move around in the leash. It's just not as easy. Polison just took a double quill spray to the face. He's got 5 stacks, 1 stack away from death, but luckily he has a salve. And Rior actually is very low and in trouble. They burrow strike him. He's dead, but it's level 1 burrow, sadly, so they cannot quite get the range. He'll have to back up and find some regen. Uh-oh, he got slowed by the ghost. Run! All right, Pilt, I don't think you should do that. Be careful.
He's got balls, man. He's
really
got
does.
such huge balls.
So he's going to have a Vanguard at like 4 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Hey, man, if he had gotten that first blood, he would already have the
He would have Vanguard. Yeah, exactly. You can't win everything, though.
The most ridiculous Vanguard timing I've ever seen.
No,
I mean, this is already pretty ridiculous.
Bimbo is in a pretty tough position. Snowball comes out, and it does hit, but the win run is there for Insidious C. Cat will use the pounce. There's the Nether Blast. Almost getting both of those heroes. They're going to get both of those heroes unless Insidious C can win run away, and he does. Power shuts up, and he can make... Oh, nice dodge from Bimbo to avoid the snipe. Power Blast, or excuse me, Nether Blast. Skimberloo gets the double kill. And suddenly, just like that, Taskus Titans having a pretty good laning phase.
Yeah, well, it's rough when you send the Slark on the bottom lane to dodge, and then you're still in a lane where there's so much pressure and so many kills happening because he's 12 last hits. Pugna has 13, which isn't a lot either. But does Pugna really care about that? No, but Slark really does. This is a hero.
Oh my God, is he gonna get denied? Yes.
Oh, he got it.
Poloson should have waited, I think.
Level 1 Burrow just does barely any damage now.
Yeah, he just needed to take like one hit from the Ancient Black Dragon, and then he goes for the Burrow Strike, and then that's easier to get that kill.
Careful.
Jamesy has not been using his. I haven't seen him using his Tidebringer with the autocast, which is interesting to like deny creeps. Oh, now he just
did it there.
He just did. Yeah, there you go.
That's broken.
So wait, it actually doesn't put it on cooldown? Are you kidding?
No, it doesn't. It does not.
I thought I put it on cooldown. It was just like a cool aspect to it. It's actually just broken like that, huh?
Yep. Yeah, it's just an additional 75 damage.
Rior about to kill Tsudi. One more Quill Spray. Illuminate doesn't hit, but he's dead anyway. Couldn't get off the Aphotic Shield, sadly. And this game has gone pretty well for Titans all of a sudden. Meanwhile, bottom...
I really like this Bristle. Oh, bottom lane.
Nah, that's fine. You're good. Although the Sand Geek's here. All right, they're running. So you like the Bristle. I agree. Why do you like the Bristle, Jenkins?
It's a good hero. No, I like the fact that he's not going for boots at all. Just completely rushing the kind of tanky stat. I'm going to sit in this lane and just bully you items because he might not even go for. Well, I don't know. I think going for Hood is just excessive, but he knows he's just going to sit in that lane.
God.
And
Look at the stack.
There's 2 stacks. There's 3 stacks. 3 insane stacks.
Yeah, he's taking the other one over here.
He's going to get so huge. There's more stacks, too, actually.
Are you kidding me? He already has Vanguard. How is this fair? I mean, I know it's fair because they spent the entire time with R in the jungle stacking it up, but still, it's nuts. Wow.
Yeah, this is one of those things with the Caudal Bristle dual off lane. Not only, and the same with the Bristle IO, is that not only do you destroy the lane, but you also have these stacks to fall back on. So even if you lose the lane, a lot of the time you'll end up winning the game because you have such a huge advantage from these stacks, especially with the Ancients. But they won the lane, and they have these incredible stacks to farm. So let's look at his net worth.
He is 1,000 gold ahead.
That is pretty ridiculous for 6 minutes in.
I've seen a lot of Bristles go like Pipe and Crimson Guard. I feel like he needs to go Radiance with how far ahead he is almost, or at least he should at some point.
I think so too. I think that Radiance is the perfect item for when you are not killable already. Like there's no point in building more tanky items if he's already unkillable, and then just build a Radiance. You do so much more damage.
Yeah.
It just seals the deal. Like there's no way that they can fight you if you're just radiating the damage from the Radiance plus the Quill Spray. Bottom lane.
Nice Shackle. Dead. 6 charges, can't get him off in time. Insidious C secures the kill. Finally, they rotate the Sand King and he gets involved in something positive.
There's so much early game disables coming up from these 2 supports actually, and early level disables. Like the Sand King with the basically 2-second stun at level 1, and Wind Ranger with the 2-second stun at level 1, both on relatively short cooldowns, means that they can just like run somebody down and stun them for half the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's super strong.
Yep.
Especially as a combo, you can set up for the power, or set up for the shackle shot and the power shot with the Sand King stun.
Yeah, and they're gonna need them to find some of those disables and those kills. 2D is gonna use his borrowed time and TP away. There was no disable there, of course. Nice TP. And
Bristle is building into a mechanism.
oh, why? Just by Radiance.
I mean, I guess the plan is to just completely...
He's dead. That's Ace Rune.
The boat.
You got a CS from the boat,
secures him a creep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's all right.
And then his team is getting top tier 1, which is good too, so not the end of the world for him to die.
I think I get why he's going for the mechanism. It's basically because they have this Pugna lineup with a Bristle, and they're just going to try to get as much map control as early as possible using these two heroes, like taking down all the towers, probably securing Roshan. And it's just an early game thing. Like, I think if they go late game against a DK Abaddon with Radiance and Slark, it's actually pretty hard with these heroes.
Yeah.
Even though they have decent late game, they're against like 3 ridiculously good late game cores with 3 pretty good late game cores. But none of these are traditionally like godly late game heroes, you know?
Yeah. Well, the snowball onto Cat down bottom. I have the Pugna here, or excuse me, the Bristleback. Cat is dead. That's Rior rotating. He's already bought his, I think, Buckler is flying out now. He also went Arcane Boots, interestingly enough, which you have to do when you're going back on this hero, I think. Raging Potato's going to find Insidiousy. I don't think they can fight into this Bristleback. Although they are TPing into DK. Maybe. Okay, yes, they can. Okay, that's a lot of gold about to go their way. They rotate all the heroes. I spoke way too soon. They just got a dominating spree. How much gold did Pepehands get? Let's find out. 1,000. 500 of which went to the Wind Ranger.
All right. Well, they do trade the middle tower for that. And now that they have the middle and top tower, that's Roshan that's available. Bristle's pretty good for taking that, but not really anybody else, to be honest. So maybe not that big of a deal taking that mid tower. Although the mid tower is also just great to take in most games anyway. It secures such a huge area of the map to take that towers.
This Pugna has a medallion.
Oh, maybe they are looking to take the Roshan then.
It's so strange to see that. I get why. It's just you feel like if you're gonna play core Pugna, you need your own items, not items to help the team work. I don't know. It's a lot of emphasis placed on the Bristleback right now. It
seems like they're really, really focusing on this early game pushing and winning the game before the enemy team gets anything. Like, otherwise you'd see this Pugna going for the traditional kind of Aether Lens into maybe Veil of Discord, etc., etc. You know, Kaya's, things like that. These good late game Pugna items, but. No, they're really, really committing to this early game, and that's exactly why the Bristol's going for a mech and not a Radiance, because they just want to fight early. Even though they lost that fight in the bottom lane, like I'm a little worried if they don't transition into kind of a late game style team.
Yeah, it's not like
with the fight going that poorly.
It's not like the Kunkka's farming out of control where he's going to get the super early Daedalus or anything. And I already expressed my concern. Well, Skemberloo TP'd the wrong TP. He TP'd into, I think, the bottom lane, and it took a year and a half, and Poloson was able to find him. Even if he TP'd back to the base, it still wouldn't have worked out. He needed to TP in the trees, and he did not do that. So
that's their pusher, too. Like, yeah. Pugna's a big part of this, of why this is such a deadly 5-man. So... Wind Ranger looks like she's just gonna casually push this out. I'm surprised they don't take this fight.
They're gonna use DK ulti and push mid instead.
I guess because they think they can, they can get a good trade.
They might even try to defend this.
Oh yeah, they are. So they are looking to defend it.
So that's a tier 1. The trade will probably be a tier 1 for tier 1. I don't know if they can defend unless they TP in the DK, which currently is not happening. He does have it. I think they're trying to bait in the fight, then he can TP in. They'll take this tier 1. They have Glyph, but...
It's such a slow push without the Pugna.
They didn't use... Oh, they didn't use Glyph. That's awkward. Okay.
And Pepperoni's Glyph. This is giving Slark some space to farm. And we've all seen Slark, you know, kill the entire enemy team in the late game when he gets a couple of stacks of the Essence Shift. So this is actually looking pretty decent for Pepehands.
Yeah, they're doing... exactly what they need to, taking towers with DK ulti, avoiding fights, and only taking ones that are really good, like the one bottom. They're going to have a Blade Mail for Abaddon. They're going to have the Cat Slark Shadow Blade up, but there's the mech now finished as soon as he gets the Courier. And they could try to put some pressure either on Roche. They're going to smoke and look for a kill mid. Maybe they back into Roche after they get this tier 2 or get a kill.
DK's a hard kill.
They're going to try to go for it. It is a very difficult kill. They have a lot of magic damage, to be fair, but this is not going to be enough, I don't think. They're going to decrep the life drain.
They're letting him die. That's not the play.
Walrus Punch. He almost is going to live. The Nether Blast comes out. They pop the mech. They can keep going. That's a pretty big kill.
It's just that the... I mean, I feel like you could have TP'd Abaddon in and saved him there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought they would rotate somebody, and they did with the Wind Ranger, but that's not enough.
I'm a little surprised that they ditched him there. He survived for long enough. I think if they just TP the Abaddon in, it's really, really bad for Titans. I guess they're really just focusing on, like, okay, guys, do not fight them until we have the Slark Shadow Blade. Let's just play the game out until then by split pushing. So really, really committing to a certain style of Dota until they get some timing, clearly.
Insidious C is in some trouble. They've got the X marks, the shackle shot. Epicenter is getting channeled. Polosin, do they have mech backup? I don't think they do. It's still down for 20 seconds. Polosin's actually in trouble, though. He's going to get killed by Quill Sprays. They buy back in the Pugna. The Ghost Ship's going to come out. 2D almost walk into it. Actually didn't with the Blade Mail popped. Now the Blade Mail is down. Rior's still pretty low HP. They need this mech backup. It's back up in 8. There's going to be a decrypt with the Snowball, the Life Drain coming out, but Fixers gets a Photic Shield. 2D still has his borrowed time, of course. Meanwhile, the Slark is not fighting this. The mech comes out, and they need it back, I think. Are they actually really going to push this?
I guess that's why he bought back, because they just want to end the game right now.
This is a little dangerous. I guess if he gets the tower, it's not. Yeah, he doesn't lose money from it, you know.
They have the double Nether Blasts with the Caudal Chakra.
They TP the Slark home, and he has Shadow Blade now, I think. Yeah, he does. So this is a little sketchy, I would say. Plus, they don't have Wave.
This is where it can completely turn around.
Look at the wraparound. Cat and Polosin are looking for a backdoor initiation. This might be a dead RR, I think. Yeah, do they have a sentry? They do, but he walked a little far out of it. Pugna's dead. That's a dieback, although he's only dead for 38 seconds. Rior is going to have to run. Shackle shot onto Tusk. I'm surprised that they went that aggressively in that engagement. They're still not done yet, obviously. Cat going to get snowballed, but he does have the Dark Pact. The Ghost Ship coming out. Oh, nice Ice Shards. But where's the follow-up? The Illuminate hits, but only onto 2D, who has his borrowed time back in 2, and he's actually going to die. That is super close. Fixers is now getting run as well. Shackle shot coming in. Fixers is going to get X marks. Rior is impossible to kill, and this is the only reason the fight is going this well. Cat's going to rotate back, and he'll find RR. He does have no Shadow Dance, nor does he have a Shadow Blade, and in fact, he is in some serious trouble, and he is dead. And as juicy as that kill was onto RR, it's going to mean that they're going to lose 4 now, as Polosin's going to get dove under the tower. The Pugna is back up and alive, but he's not going to come to the base. Instead, they're going to be happy with just securing the kills and back themselves up to safety. That was one of the most ridiculous, like, 15-minute Tier 3 tower dives I've ever seen.
I don't know what's going on in this game. That was also like a 10-minute long fight. Like, it just never ended. And when you're going to take a fight against a Bristle that doesn't seem like it's going to end, it's not going to go well for you. The stacks were just so high, the quill stacks. Like,
that was before he even had Greaves. He only had mech there.
Yeah. I honestly think they just need to be happy with, and by they, I mean Pepehands. They need. I can't pronounce that. There's something.
Pepehands.
Like
you're saying it correctly. Pepehands.
I said Pepe. Like I kind of.
No.
Anyway.
You said Pepehands.
Did I?
Yeah. Don't freak yourself out. You're doing fine.
Maybe I need to. I'm delirious here. But anyway, they just need to be happy with what they got in the initial pickoffs, and then kind of understand that there's no way that they can fight into this lineup over a long period of time. They need to take those pickoffs, resituate themselves with full HP, full mana, get all those quill stacks down, and then actually this Bristle looks like he's completely alone.
Even if he is completely alone, killing him is going to be difficult. Cat takes like 2 quill sprays, and he's just like, all right, I got to run now. Like, he has to Shadow Dance. Rior is a monster, and he's going to have Radiance at some point in the near future as well.
Oh, yeah, he's going for it now.
This is better. I actually like... I was skeptical of the build earlier, going Mecha to Guardian Greaves. Now it feels like if he can get this Radiance, it's really good. And even if he does go Radiance, I'm still a fan of it. On the back lines, they have spotted Insidious C. They'll back up together. There's no creep wave, which means that this is backdoor protected. They're going to get borrowed time, more than likely. Oh, maybe not. Dragon Tail stops him from going a little too far up.
They can't fight this. Slark is way too out of resources right now.
He needs to go regen. Yeah, this is just a dead tower, I think.
It's just a free tower.
This is surprisingly only a 3K lead with all of the objectives they've taken and all the fights they've taken, now up to 4K. A lot of the lead is actually coming from the fact that the Pugna's not very farmed and the other 3 heroes are. The medallion pickup again was very interesting. I mean, I'm sure it helped, but I don't know.
It's just like the buff the bristleback strategy and just run at towers.
I would have liked you had an Aether Lens. I don't know. I'm fine with it. He's gonna get one anyway. He's already got it. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can definitely understand it. You get that plus 225 HP talent with that ridiculous amount of armor that you get for such a low cost of the medallion. It's pretty value on a hero that is already pretty squishy and important to stay alive in the fight. So I've definitely done this before on Pugna. I've done this on like Skyreth Mage too, where it's like, okay, I literally just need armor in this game. Like if you can survive.
Sorry, they were taking Roche. They got power shut. I thought they were gonna go for a fight there, but they didn't. Okay, so
yeah, although I do feel like Titans can just. Well, I mean, Roche is super powerful now. Maybe it's not such a good idea to just go in and try to take Roche when he's just been buffed into oblivion every single patch since, like 2 years ago.
He's very strong.
Roche has been getting stronger and stronger, even as a refresher orb now. Three deaths. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, the refresher shard, quite the item. However, this game not very good for the Radiant team. For the Dire, double Elder Dragon form is fine. I guess maybe double Bard time, not really. Anyway, some very good vision for the Dire around this Roach Pit, which means that they can take a fight. They have the vision. They know what's going on. They don't see everybody. They really only see the Bristleback right now. They know he's pretty close by. They have Photic Shield of Slark to try to bait anything, of some of the abilities out, but that's not going to happen. Kunk is going to X himself back and rejoin to the fight. 2D needs to run. He gets Ice Sharded off. This will be his bar time. There it is. They'll drop the ward. Shackle Shut does hit onto Bristleback, but that just means they can't chase unless they get an X marks. They couldn't find it. Now they should maybe think about going back to Roche. Or pushing, I guess. They could also just push.
It definitely feels like what they need to do is disable the Bristle and kill the back line.
Double Nether Blast is dumb.
It's pretty dumb. I mean, Nether Blast in general feels a little bullshit because it's just like, oh, you don't have to commit anything and you're taking my Rax Tower. That's fine and dandy. I'm enjoying this. Feels good when you're playing Pugna, though.
Yeah, it feels really good when you're playing Pugna. Backdoor protection has kicked in. Now it is kicked out. 2D doesn't have borrowed time. Needs to be very careful with how he approaches the next 5 seconds. It'll be back up soon, though. Tier 3 has been taken, and I think he could just back up again. Somehow they still only have a 2k lead. I don't know how.
It's because they're 5-manning. They're not getting... If you looked at the XP, I imagine that 2D...
Yeah, the Slark probably is doing pretty well in experience. Actually, the XP is still not that bad.
Let's see, Bristle, huge XP per minute. I mean, that makes sense with all the stacks that he was getting.
Skemberloo, Decrep, nice. He stays alive. Nether Blast drops. Good blink. No, Snowball save rather. Cat now probably dead. Torrent, Ghost Ship, X marks back. Nicely done. Sick kill. Epicenter's gonna go. They're gonna try to go onto Reor. That's not doing any damage at all. And City C is forced to run, but here comes the Cool Sprays and the Viscous Nasal Boo. Polison has to do the same with the Burrow Strike, but I'm pretty sure they're both dead if he keeps dodging like this. Is he going to? The answer is yes. Although,
dude, Reor is just making so much space right now.
Well, the rest of them are fighting without him. He's gonna have to Griefs. He's actually pretty low. And he's facing 2D. This is a huge kill. He's dead.
Well, mate, but God, spoke too soon. That's not...
Okay, this is now an awful fight. It is time to run. You're fighting into a DK ulti. He's very tanky, not to mention borrow time is back up on 2D. They're all dead, I think. They need to leave now, and that is kind of a misplay. He dove too deep. I thought he would have gotten those kills, but he's, away from the rest of his team. They all TP back, they all run back, and they just kill him. They just kill him, and that's without the Slark. This is, I think, a mistake you can't really afford when you're this close in this kind of game with the net worth being the way that it is.
Yeah, that was definitely just too far. I liked what he was doing initially, where he was just... If you can sacrifice yourself in terms of not being out of fight to take, like, 2 of the enemy heroes out of a fight, and your team is strong enough to fight the rest of them, obviously that's going to be worth it. But when you're taking so much damage that as the unkillable hero on your team, you end up killing yourself, then obviously that's not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just worse than any other hero dying, because every single time that Bristle dies, he loses that momentum where it feels like he's just unkillable. Now he's not so unkillable. Like, he's just a lot easier to kill. Like, it feels that way in the game, when you're playing.
And I did speak of the importance of this game earlier, but I just want to touch on it again. Currently, Taskus Titans are 1 game behind that of Clutch Gamers, and there's not many games left for both of these teams to play. Losing against a team like Pepehands is pretty rough in this stage, and they're using a weird strategy, although right now it seems to be working out as they've gotten 2D locked down. However, it's a Reor Shackle Shot.
I don't think with his team there they can kill Reor at all.
You know what he's doing also? He's building into Pipe now, which I think is a good choice. He realizes that he's not unkillable, and if he gets Pipe, he can be unkillable yet again.
Yeah, that's definitely the play on this hero. You want to build into the Radiance when you know that you already can't die.
God, Insidious sees living life on the edge. They're working on the racks. They've picked up the range racks. They're going to nether blast the melee racks down slowly. They're working on getting the Sand King. He is going to try to get out, but that's not happening. The Walrus Punch. Ghost Ship, auto attack, big kill. Cat rotates in, snowball down. He does have a BKB. He's going to pop it.
BKB?
He needs to kill RR with this. They're going to buy back on the Sand King. That's a very good blinding light onto Fixers, which means his damage is going to be mitigated. This BKB is still going for at least a second longer. Now it's gone, and he needs to be careful with how he approaches this next part of this fight. They're going to Dragon Tail up onto the Pugna. He needs to survive. He's going to get shackled. They need a snowball save, and they found it. The epicenter comes out. Pretty big fight. Coddle's already dead, and with Rior, he's really strong, and he's got plenty of close sprays. I don't think he can do it alone, though, and James is now going to get focus fire down. They're all still alive for this Dire team. They will lose Insidious C, but Rior, I mean, I don't think he can do this. They're all too tanky at this point. Even with the Quill Spray stacks up on them, he's going to fall as well, it looks like. He does have 20 wand charges plus Greaves back up. If he could somehow kill these heroes, it would be incredible, but it's not going to happen. They've got the Burrow Strike. They've got a double kill. They've wiped the enemy team, and whatever advantage Taskus Titans had at the beginning of the game is now gone. It is a 3K lead, and it's about to be more for Pepehands, and that might just be the game, to be honest with you. And I know that's crazy to say, Jenkins, but that's kind of how it feels right now.
That's the lineup that Titans have picked, though. Like, they can't. They're playing against a lineup that they know is so heavily favored to win in the late game that they were building these ridiculous items in the early game, like the Medallion of Courage. You know, we see Pugna feeding with that item and going for the Tranquil Boots next. I mean, that's an Abaddon Radiance too coming out. It's just you just don't win this game in the late game against these heroes.
Yep.
Unless you transition from that winning early game with kind of more secure the map centric items and playstyle. Like, if they had just secured the map, taken Roshan, built items that weren't so completely dependent on I'm just going to push right now and win the game, then they could actually win this game in the late game. But they have, like I said, they have the Medallion on Pugna, they have the Greaves on Bristleback, not a Radiance, where he's been farming this whole time, securing the map. Like, it's definitely looking pretty rough.
Now
but
they
then
have
again,
BKB and DK. I don't think they can actually do anything to him, nor can they do anything to the Abaddon. Like, as long as he has borrowed time up, they can't kill him. He's gonna have Radiance now.
Radiance Blade Mail.
They don't
like,
even. They're so like, this is so different than what we saw the last Coddle game, where like Coddle spent his entire early game farming Ags. He is nowhere even close to an item.
He has nothing.
He has nothing. He's 2,000 net worth. He's lower than Insidious C on the Wind Ranger. It's insane.
The thing is, if they had done this kind of map control centric playstyle in the game, where they don't necessarily try to take these 5-on-5 fights, fighting and forcing these racks, the Coddle would probably have an Eggs right now because he'd have so much space for him on the map to farm. He would have so much more items, maybe a Glimmer Cape. And now, he had a gem, but he actually lost the gem to the Slark in that fight. And now the gem is on the ground.
Yep.
So they can't, that's even more map control that they can't secure now, because there's going to be all these wards out that cannot be dewarded. And they're not going to be able to sentry all of them, you know, so. Taskus.
This is a dangerous fight. This is a very dangerous fight.
I think this is good for the Dire.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think that Rior might die here. They need an Elder Dragon form. They just need to. They have Cat with the Pounce. Rior, of course, doesn't have a BKB. They're all running up here, but by the time they get there, it's going to be too late with a great shaft shot. Burrow Strike. Rior is dead. You know.
Like I said, with this hero, it feels like Bristle's unkillable, but if you die 1 or 2 times, it starts feeling like you're less and less and less unkillable. Same thing with Tinker. Like, you play this kind of lineup where it's like, oh my god, this hero is just unstoppable. But really, you kill them a couple times, you get a little bit more net worth. You know, you get the Blink Dagger on this hero, you get more HP on this hero. All of a sudden, they don't feel so strong. Yeah. So 1 or 2 deaths, and the game starts looking like this.
Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is they tried a strategy. The strategy has not panned out as of yet. I mean, they were doing pretty well in the early game, but it just became the Slark farmed, he got all of his items. The DK farmed, he got all of his items. And from that point, Taskus Titans haven't been able to win a fight since then. I will say, you know, they had not as much reserve time as they would have liked. You know, there's a part of me that wants to say, you know, this was a very important game for them, but they tried something, it didn't work. That's okay. And it's still not like they're, you know, there's still a chance for them in this game. There's also still a chance in this tournament for them to get at the top spot in group stages. It just gets a lot more tricky if they lose this game, is all I'm saying.
They're building a lot more late game centric stuff now. Like, if you look at their quick buys, they're really focusing on, okay, we're gonna fight around a specific timing rather than just fighting with the most aura centric items we can get, the most like buff-centric items we can get, they're getting BKBs. They're getting Radiances. They're getting items that are actually.
But it's too little, too late. I think at this point. I know they're only down 4K, but against Slark,
yeah, that's
DK,
true. But it's possible that the Dire screws up something, like the Slark gets killed at the start of a fight. Bristle gets a lot of stacks on everybody.
Yeah.
You know, the Radiant screwed up. I'm sure the Dire can screw up as well.
Although it is looking pretty bad for Rior right now. They need a blinding light. They do get one, but Rior, I don't know if he should turn. They don't have their Pugna, although they get off a nice ghost ship, but cap BKBs, so this might just be the end of the fight. Rior is going to back himself to safety. So that's a nice BKB timing. That was maybe that kind of issue that you were looking for.
There's 12 Essence Shift stacks on the Slark, though. That's
he wants to go back in.
He's looking hungry for some more.
They're running on top of wards right now. And Rior is going to know that there's a ward here. They need to de-ward it. They don't have any sentries, though. Are they really going into Roche? This is a dangerously aggressive.
That is pretty dangerous. I think Abaddon can just run in.
Yeah, absolutely. They can just power shot it like that. They can keep doing that. Especially if RR gets caught, they just lose the fight, I think. Even without him getting caught, they lose the fight. Oh, they found the Silver Edge, and that makes Rior not very tanky. And boy, is he dead. At least he should be. Yep, he is. He needs a BKB or something. I don't know.
It's actually another reason that Slark is great against this hero, because the Silver Edge. Speaking of Slark Silver Edge.
They might want to buy back on Rior, or at least consider it. Oh, this Tusk is mega dead. They power shot it. Oh my god, he was trying to blink so hard, but he power shot it as he came out of the snowball with perfect timing from Insidious Seed, which was really nice. Breathe Fire comes out, 2 kills. The Nether Ward was being a bit of a nuisance, but it doesn't matter. They do have to go defend top lane, and they will do that right now, but they're going to have the Slark head into the Roche pit as he has 22 Essence Shift stacks.
Yeah, that's an easy Roshan. Even with the new damage that Roche does, it doesn't matter because you have the DK Breathe Fire, reducing the damage. You have Slark with 29 armor and 200 damage. Almost 250 damage.
So
pretty easy.
Roshan was available earlier into the game for Taskus Titans if they could have secured the map and gotten map control and got the wards. That didn't happen. Now it's given over to Pepehands.
They were committed. I can definitely appreciate how committed they were to the strat. Pugna Medallion, things like that. It's so clear that they wanted to win the game in a particular way, and they were going to do it, or they were going to lose.
Yeah.
And here we see the latter happening.
Part of me thinks that they can come back if they get like a Daedalus on this Kunkka, Daedalus Rapier, but he's going to be picking up a BKB first, which is completely fine. But the damage is going to be missing. You know, if he had a sick, you know, if he had a Daedalus Rapier, he just gets 1 crit and they win the fight. Unfortunately, you know, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Coddle dies again. Really important here to keep alive for these defenses. So
this Radiance is too late for Rior. It doesn't really do anything in these fights anymore, sadly. At least I don't think it does. When they pop BKB.
There's so much like, there's BKB, there's all the Abaddon shields coming out. Sark has so much regen coming from the Shadow Dance when he does dip in and out of the fights. Wind Ranger and Sand King have these mobility items, so they're not really going to get hit by the Radiance as much as they would before.
Time to run! Right. Good Halberd. BKB does come out from Cat, and Halberd's done. Epicenter on to 3. Ghost Ship coming out way too late. Jamesy's going to fall. Pugna is dead as well. He has buyback, of course, but at this point, I'm not sure they can even do anything. Rior is spamming as many close sprays as he can. They're fighting 3 versus 5, and now it's going to be 2 versus 5 as the Tusk is going to fall. Focus Fire, Dragon Tail, more than enough lockdown. They've secured yet another kill. And Taskus Titans, they don't lose the game off that, but it's a pretty rough fight for them.
Yeah, that's 10k advantage. That's pretty big swing from earlier. You know, another reason that I think Slark is really good in this game that I wasn't thinking about in the draft is the fact that when the Kunkka boat comes out, Slark loves the fact that people take way more hits to kill, because every single fight he's sitting on like 20 stacks of Essence Shift.
Yep. Because
it's so easy to get those stacks when everybody is so damn tanky. And then the steal, I'm pretty sure that the steal, the attribute steal, you lose the strength. That's not going to be mitigated by the boat buff at all, because you're literally losing strength. Your HP just drops. Your total HP just drops. So, yeah, that's pretty effective against the Kunkka. And then also you have the Dark Pact. So the Kunkka building into the armlet, the toggles aren't really there because the Dark Pact is going to kill you no matter, like I haven't seen a single armlet toggle this game that has.
Yeah, it's kind of impossible for him.
because there's, I mean, it is Kunkka. Like, he doesn't really toggle that much anyway because you have the ghost ship buff. But still, you usually, when somebody picks up an armlet, you see a lot of crazy cool toggles, and like that's a big reason that the armlet is a good item, because you can kind of do the toggling thing and stay alive in a fight where maybe you otherwise couldn't have. But against all of these heroes, they have Abaddon Radiance, shields, they have the Dragon Knight buff, they have the Slark, Dark Pact. It's so hard to do those toggles. Not that they're like super important, but it's a reason that you pick up the item. It's a decent reason for it.
Yeah, I know it's good on the Kunkka anyway, like just on its own, but
yeah, the raw damage.
To be honest, this Kunkka hasn't really done anything in this game for me, right? I mean, he's cleaved a few times. He's got a couple of good ghost ships and catches earlier into the game, but since then he's not done anything. You know, I don't really know what else. It's not his fault, to be fair. Skimmerloo might. Okay, he just gets out. Nice. But yeah, for Taskus Titans, the road back into this game is going to be a very long one. I mean, they'll have Radiance soon. There's actually double damage at the top rune spot, which Wind Ranger saw. I'm sure the Slark or DK are going to run over and grab it. But yeah, this game, it's not over yet, and it might not end for another 15 minutes, but at this point, it just feels like all Pepehands need to do is take the next Roche, you know, take a fight with an Aegis and Cheese, and then go from there.
Slark is easily the scariest hero in Dota to pick up a DD. And the DK takes it. Well, that's great.
Get owned.
Alright.
Well, to be fair, he does have his ulti up. That's pretty good.
That is true. And an Assault Cuirass.
Alright, guys, just let's dive to tier 3. You know what? Let's just win the game that way.
Go
they
for
don't even need to.
Ooh, that is...
Silver Edge. Oh, he's getting the back lines. That is a dead Coddle. Took him a while, though. The ghost ship did come out, so they didn't even get the Bristleback. That actually wasn't that good. And now Cat needs to be careful. He does have Aegis, of course. They're X-marking him. Good shackle shot, though. Man, that was pretty ownage. Dragon Tail comes out. Good snowball save. They got Cat's Aegis. Not yet. Epicenter. Oh, Jesus Christ. They're going to have to buy back. James is going to fall as well. The Glimmer Cape will not save him. He has no buyback. That's just Aegis. Tootie's going to have his borrowed time rolling. And the only hero they did lose was the DK other than the Aegis. So they're still holding on for now, but there's no buyback on the Bristleback, which is their main hero, nor on the DK, which is just another bit of a big part of their damage. So I don't know how they defend this. The good thing is they don't have that much push without DK. So
yeah, the Abaddon's decent. I mean, they could potentially fight this, but if they get enough harass off with the Coddle, with the shards, yeah, and it looks like Pepehands are well aware that there's some potential there to lose a high ground push against these heroes. Like, they're not that scary in a fight, but when you're dealing with just harass over time, they're definitely a lot scarier.
I suppose it's a smart play, because if you die and you don't have buyback, they could just take your building so quickly with Pugna for Taskus Titans, but I don't know. I don't know they needed to actually back up there, but
I think they're feeling pretty secure in this game to just take whatever fight and not really risk anything, because as we've seen, these fights just hugely go in the favor of the Dire by virtue of them having way better heroes at this point in the game versus the Radiance heroes. So there's really not much of a reason to even give the Radiant an opportunity to come back into this game. Like, why even, if it's seeming like at all risky, why even bother? You know, just wait Roshan, just take the fights when you have everybody alive, when you have your pusher, when you have your tanky guy, you have your BKBs up. There's like a lot of reasons that you can just back up and be okay with it in this situation, I think.
So 36 minutes in, and they are going to have to back up and play on their side of the map for a little bit. Try to get the waves pushed back out. Bimbo is sitting in the tree line, and I don't know, trying to just keep splitting and taking the tier 2 tower would be nice, but Cat is pretty sure that there's somebody here, and boy, is he correct.
That is ballsy.
They have no way of stopping the TP. Smart play from Bimbo. Even if Cat's there, they don't have it stunned, so pretty nice.
Three stunners are playing on the other side of the map. In Vision, the SK I believe was in Vision, but the Wind Ranger was not. DK was, so it was kind of a, you know, there's a 1 in 3 chance that they kill me here. Those were the heroes that could have been there.
Yeah, and you just have to make those plays anyway. When you're in this stage of the game, you're down 17k.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta do something.
Even with like split pushing plays like that happening, we still see the gold lead is still swinging even more in favor of the Dire here. was just 15k, now it's 17k, just for the map control that they have.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. They're going to go for a smoke play. I don't think it's going to work. They're just sitting top. They're waiting for somebody to come up here, but... Oh, maybe they will. Polis is going to run right into Rior, and this poor Tusk. It's going to get Orchided, which was the item that the Slark picked up. That's the gem, by the way.
That's a gem. That's huge.
Bristle's going to get Yules, but he will be able to get back. Are they going to try to push with this is the question. I think they should, although against Coddle it's kind of tricky. Not to mention Rior is so huge.
Bristle with Radiance, too.
Yep.
Ah, man.
Here they go.
Okay, they're going to go.
X marks onto 2D. Rior already taking a little damage from the Radiance burn of 2D.
I'm feeling like this is a little dangerous. There's just like I'm getting that feeling.
They found the ghost ship. That's a cat, BKB. Healing up. Needs to be a little careful. He's going to have to Silver Edge away. I can't believe he actually survived. And they need back now. It is very... Like, if they lose cat there, that's some gold going the way of Taskus Titans. Maybe
that's going to be a lot of gold. That'll be a lot of gold. And then they could potentially take more from that. And then Roshan is going to respawn in 32 seconds. So that could have been real bad. But, Pepehands are... They knew what they could get away with there.
Yeah.
So the moment it looks scary, they get out.
But they are able to get out, luckily enough. And they still have quite the lead, 22k. Roche is up very soon. And with that will be Aegis and Cheese. Pepehands would like to take that to be able to win the game, but they haven't lost tracks yet for Taskus Titans. The game isn't over. I mean, it feels like they have no real late game type heroes, but with Coddle, no game is over till it's over, I suppose.
Yeah, and then the Bristle Radiance too. Like they have a lot of spam actually for defending high ground. Kunkka too isn't
He's
too
gonna
bad.
have Daedalus.
Like, he can keep cleaving with the X marks. And...
they have found the kill on the Tusk again. Sorry, he doesn't have a gem this time. Tootie's godlike. He's about to have an Octarine core, which is ridiculous, and that'll lead into Roche. So, not the best timing for him to die, unless they don't check it, which they really should. They're going to. Alright.
Abaddon is so insane when he gets level 25. 24-second cooldown on the borrowed time, so it's got like a 1/4 uptime, and aphotic shields that shield for almost 500 damage.
Yeah, the 25 talent is
cooldown.
Insane. Like, if they get that level 25 talent, I don't think they can... They'll still be able to kill Cat, but man, will he be tricky to bring down if he just uses the Evotic Shield correctly for 2D.
Yeah. And when you see like the Radiance getting picked up by the Bristle, it swings the damage to... They have the potential to sit there and kind of harass and potentially put them over a damage threshold where they could just take a fight, like put them to 60% HP instead of 70% HP in the time that it takes to siege in one wave. But with the Abaddon shield coming out with the level 25 talent, obviously that would completely swing in the other direction because you're doubling the effectiveness of the Abaddon shield, more than doubling the effectiveness of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of this spam ability is being kind of negated by this fact, and it's a lot harder to defend with this sort of lineup when there's just so much sustain coming out of the dire side.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky.
Like the DK has so much effective HP, so much armor, and then throw on top of that 400 damage shield that also does damage on the flip side when you take the shield down. I mean, it's a crazy amount of effective HP that you have to deal with on top of taking damage, additional damage, all while the Radiance and the Abaddon Blade Mail is pulsating. I mean, it's just an insane amount.
It just leads to the question: how do you actually kill any of these heroes? And
I guess they have to split up, or take a lot of harass, or Kunkka needs to get a huge cleave into disable from some of the other heroes. What disables do they really have though? They just have if the Kunkka's setting up to cleave, he's probably not gonna. Well, if they do a ghost ship into, it's really a lot of this is on the Kunkka, to be honest.
Yeah, good luck.
That's kind of how it is.
You only have a Chrysalis. You don't even have a Daedalus yet. He's gonna have to get a nice Albert off.
Smoked up. DK, another DD.
They're looking for a jump. They have Sound Jamesy, but he's gonna X himself back, and 2D's just gonna run up high ground to get vision.
Pugna's a good target. I think they can definitely go on the Pugna. Although he'll get saved by the Tusk, but going on the
Dragon Tail, Snowball save immediately. Cat looking now with the Slark. The blinding light comes out. Still R is dead anyway. It looks like. Good decrep doesn't save his life, sadly. Now they're going to just run right onto the Tusk, who's about to fall. Cat's still in deep, but he's got Aegis, so even if he dies, it's not that big of a deal. James pops his own BKB. Now the Ghost Ship finally coming in, which they needed it a little bit earlier. Rior getting life drained. The Pounce misses, but he's still dead anyway with the Silver Edge coming out from Slark. No buyback on to the Bristleback, dead for 80 seconds. And I still don't know if they can finish this game. 2D has no borrow time, needs to be careful. Epicenter coming out. Skemberloo somehow... Oh, wait, a Lincoln Sphere, that's out, but he's still dead anyway. 4 dead, and that should lead into Rax, even with the Kunkka being alive. DK ulti, Slark, and Glyph, it doesn't matter. They will still get at least 2 sets of racks out of this, I think. And that should do it.
Maybe even 3. Maybe even 3. It's 53 seconds on the Bristleback is really rough.
Yeah, the Coddle being alive makes it a little easier for them to defend, but...
I think they can just jump the Coddle if he comes.
Yeah, probably. Cat will just run at him.
Without the Pugna alive, there's a lot less save coming from the Decrepify. So they can kind of just jump whoever they see. Coddle's very ballsy coming up like this.
Ghost Ship comes out. They're delaying as best as they can. 2D does have borrow time still. Good BKB from Jamesy. Nice timing there. Holoston was looking for the Axe jump in with Burst. I couldn't quite find it. Focus Fire doing some work under the buildings now, and they are very close to getting Megas, and there it is. Jamesy avoids the Shackle Shot by having the Glimmer Cape on him. They have to back up now. The game is not over yet. They're going to try to defend, it looks like, until the bitter end here for Taskus Titans, but for all intents and purposes, there's essentially no way they can win this game, even with the Divine Rapier and a Daedalus. Like, 2 Daedalus' Rapier would not be enough for this Kunkka to win this game, I'm pretty sure.
You never know. You never know. Maybe he'll...
I'm pretty sure, my friend, at this point.
I think you're probably right, but I'd say there's like a 0.01% chance with 2 or 3 rapiers. It could go the other way.
I would give them even less of that, but that's fine. I don't know where RR is going.
It's honestly this lineup.
Oh my god, are they gonna try to backdoor or something? They need a wave. What are they doing?
Screwing around?
I guess they're I thought there might be some method to the madness, but they are almost certainly screwing around right now. They're gonna recall. They're gonna continue to recall people.
Oh well, they're gonna do a 5-man. They're gonna have 5. Pugna's doing a really good job at using his spells on the creeps.
They're jungling together. This is a team jungle set.
This is good. Yeah, this is good. I think this is the best play.
Oh, are they gonna go for the shrine? That's hilarious. They gotta go for the tower. It's backdoor protected.
Nice decrep coming out from Skemberloo.
They got the tower. They did it. All right. Good work, Titans. GG is finally called. And that was kind of an excruciating game to watch, to be honest.
I just realized that they're playing from somewhere completely different. Maybe that's why they picked a lineup like this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that too.
Because if they're in a completely different place, although that sound